Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm a faithful believer and follower of Jesus Christ, and I'm also a woman living in long-term recovery. So, a little bit about me. I come from a really broken home. It was full of alcoholism, domestic violence. It was poverty. We were always broke, lights getting cut off, water getting cut off. We barely had the bare necessities. And so early on, nobody ever taught me how to deal with my feelings and emotions either. I just did what I saw. So a lot of anger and pent up emotions. It had me running. I was running very early, and I was looking for love and acceptance in all the wrong places. Plus I was feeling pain and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I started using substances and drinking alcohol, 13, 14. But from 15 on up, it's a blur. It's just blackout after blackout and bad decision after bad decision. Eventually that led me into a very toxic relationship. And I ended up in the same situation that I was raised in. We were constantly fighting. It was just a bad time. Plus he was my drug dealer, so that didn't help, but it kept me there way longer than I should have stayed. So it's a miracle. It's a miracle that I made it out of the dark, dark places that I've been. So trying to flee that, in the middle of the bad relationship, I lost everything. I lost custody of my kids. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost myself. I lost it all. And in the middle of trying to get out of it, because I held on to the relationship above everything else. Everything else was just dwindling, but I thought this guy loved me. I really thought he did. And now looking back, that's all I ever really wanted, was somebody to love me. So in the midst of trying to get out of this, when a woman's in a domestic violence relationship, it's hard to get out. They flee and they flee and they flee, and sometimes they die trying to flee. So in the midst of my fleeing, I found myself completely without. Like, I'd lost all hope. I'd lost everything. I was literally on the streets, like homeless, like cardboard, sleeping on cardboard, homeless. I'd been in and out of treatment centers. I've been in and out of homeless shelters. So one day I was at a homeless shelter, and on the weekends we would go down to the park. It's called Lynn Park, and all the big churches from the area come down and they give out blessing bags, or they feed you, they give you hygiene, they give you clothes. And I'd done this many times before. But this one particular day, I go down there to get the food and the clothes. And the guy running the table that I was at was talking to the man in front of me about rehab, about the Foundry. And I happen to be from Bessemer, where the Foundry is. And I said, I've always wanted to go to the Foundry, but I could never pay $700. Mind you, I was far from God at this time, and church was the last place you would have found me. So he says, well, just hang tight for a minute. I kind of want to talk to you. I thought that was odd, but I hung tight. And he was like, Cameron, do you believe in divine intervention? And I said, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. He was like, well, can I take you to church tomorrow? And I was like, I don't really do church. Like, I'm not interested. He was like, I really think that it would be good for you if you would just let me take you to church. And I really don't know why I said yes. I don't know. There was just something in me that said, just let him take you. And so I let him take me to church. He took me to church that Sunday. That Monday, I had a bed paid in full for me at the Foundry. And at the Foundry, I only lasted 2 weeks. I got kicked out of the Foundry. But in those 2 weeks, I had a radical encounter with God. He changed my heart. He changed the trajectory of my life. And I've never, ever, ever been the same. So, in my addiction, I think the darkest of dark days is when DHR come in and took custody of my children. Whew. They were 5 and 10 years old, and they were my heart. And DHR come in and took them, and I was so angry. I was so angry and I was so hopeless that it made my addiction spiral so much worse. But God, now I have 2 years and 5 months, 2 years and 5 months in recovery. And God has restored my relationship with those children. Like the one that was 10 is now 20, and I got to see his high school graduation. And he called me yesterday. I gave him $50. It's slow. Me and him are slowly starting to get to know each other. But my 14-year-old, who was 5 at the time, he's like my best friend. He calls me when anything goes wrong, or just when he's bored, he just calls me. We're starting to read the Bible together. And it's just good. It's good. And I know that I'm far from the first and only person that God has restored. He's a restoring God. And I believe that he can do it. He can do what you think he can't do. He can do anything. I want to break any generational curse, any stronghold. I don't want addiction to go any further in my family. No more alcoholism, no more domestic violence. We walk in love because God loves us. So reach out to Unforsaken. Reach out to Brother Glenn. Please reach out. He's a wonderful man of God, and he will help you any way he can. And I know that to be true.